Life as good as you. Good as me. Let's begin. Here we go. Hello. I'm having so much fun. Oh, I'm having so much fun with my music. I'm so happy. Like, I remember my makeup days were really good. Now that I'm doing my videos, like, during this time, I'm just like so happy. I feel like I don't feel, I know that I'm living my purpose now. I know that I'm living my purpose. And for that, I am so grateful. I'm so freaking grateful. If I hadn't had all those conversations with all those people in the nightclub for all those years, I don't think I would have the confidence and the courage to speak about some of the really dark things and some of the really painful things that people are living through. Because when somebody's living through these things alone and they can't go to therapy or they feel ashamed of going to therapy, maybe their only friend is YouTube, and that's okay. I don't like people on YouTube too much. That's why I do YouTube videos and I send you to my app. Please go and download the Future Gen Leaders app. I have a full on program, 42 days. Okay. On this, we go even deeper with that. We do really deep African mystical work so that you can just let go of all of the stories of shame. Right now, we're in phase 2. Actually, we're entering phase 2. Full moon. So we're entering phase 2 where we are planting this idea of what we believe we need to be. I don't even know if that makes sense. We're replanting. No, we're in the planting stage, right? So we went through 10 days of just tilling the soil, and just seeing what has hurt us in our life. And how can we rebirth that, transform that story of pain into something that is purposeful, and seeing how those stories of pain connect to our purpose so that they can connect to the prosperity that is so desperately trying to meet us, that we've been praying for forever. Money does not come from the sky. Mana does not come from the sky. Prosperity gospel and these churches have taught people that money comes from the sky. Hallelujah, welcome to Church of Wall Street, where spiritual awakening has a tangible ROI. Okay, so some of the churches have taught miracle consciousness and they've taught prosperity consciousness, which is just praying for something outside of yourself to save you. Here at Church of Wall Street, it's like, yo, man, you are the face of divinity. You are the answer you've been looking for. Sorry, not sorry to tell you this. Solve your own problems and then take whatever solution. Like, as you're solving your own problems, write it down. Write it down. Oh, step 1 was this. Step 2 was this. Step 3 was this. Step 4. Look, I'm showing you. I'm living out authentically my leadership. I'm living it out authentically as I can without revealing too much of my private life. But like, little aspects of my life where I'm just like, you've got to be this fucking authentic, because if you're not, the crazies are out looking for fake people. And sometimes the best way to get real honest with yourself, if you can't go to therapy, if you're ashamed that you could lose your license, if you're ashamed of what people are going to think of you when you believe that you're crazy or something like this, or you're crazy, but you can't admit that you're crazy because then you would lose your leadership position at your church or at your office or at even if you're a police people can't go to therapy because I mean what stigma is that? So please take the radical forgiveness. It's kind of like shamanic therapy on steroids. And this can be done in the privacy of your own home. And usually, full moon, I love to burn. New moon, I love to burn all of my radical forgiveness worksheets. And I give them back to the spirit of the fires. And just let it go. Just let these stories go. If they are not making you feel good, if you're constantly living in I hate myself, I am a failure, I've made so many mistakes, I don't know if I can ever get back, I don't know if I can ever make it right, I don't know if I will ever be okay, I don't know if I'll ever be perfect. These stories are not serving you. These stories are demonic stories. They are not of God. I am a sinner. I'm going to be punished. I'm going to hell. There is no such God that would ever want itself. You are the face of divinity. You are the face of the gods and the goddesses. How can God want to punish itself so much that it would want to put you in a hell realm? There's no such God. Yes, there are beings that would have you believe that you are a sinner, you are worthless, you must live in shame and guilt, and creativity is bad, and sex is not sacred, it's bad, and expressing yourself, your emotions are bad, you must suppress, repress, deny your emotions so that you live in craziness in your head and depression sets in. Once depression sets in, it's easy for you to make just really bad choices. And once you make these really bad choices, then you just start spiraling out, spiraling out, spiraling out, spiraling out. And of course, you're going to go to hell at that point. It's designed for souls to go to hell. Because the more souls that can go to hell, the lower the consciousness keeps sinking, sinking, sinking. This is one of the trillions of technologies that I use. Please start here. Forgiveness is not about the other person. It is not about condoning what they did as either good nor bad. It is about you being liberated from the depressions and the anxieties and the howls and the angers so that you do not sink into a hell realm as the people that have made you angry. Because here's what's happening truly on planet Earth is that the consciousness on planet Earth is becoming more and more chaotic. And if you've noticed the wars that are just like springing up from nowhere, it's just a boom, 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 everywhere. If it's not the wars, it's the climate, right? Why? Because Mother Earth just wants to ascend. Mother Earth loves us. Mother Earth just wants to provide and protect itself as us. We are a part of her. She is a part of us. But we need to ascend from the story of victim consciousness. We need to ascend from the story of blame consciousness, hate. Hate is a strategy of war. It is a strategy of war. And people who live in hate, people who live in blame consciousness, smear campaigns, lies, borderline personality disorder, narcissism, hatred, all of these ugly things, they are a part of the dark agenda. They are a part of the dark agenda and they must be held responsible by the laws of Ma'at. This is whom I am in a lineage with. They must be held responsible with the laws of Ma'at, which is now happening. So if you find yourself depressed for no reason, it's because all of the stuff that is happening on planet Earth is a lot for the consciousness to be able to take. And you might be having a spiritual awakening. You're not crazy. You're not crazy. It means that your spirit is probably seeking to expand and awaken because it's been asleep for so long, and you finally for the first time are going, what, I have an emotion? And it's probably rage, but then it's kind of looking like depression, because I found that even with myself, when I'm depressed, I get angry at times. But that anger is just communicating that, hey, there's someone inside of me, there's someone inside of me that is saying, I need you to acknowledge this pain. You can't keep numbing away from this pain. You can't drink yourself out of this pain anymore. You can't just keep working yourself out of this pain anymore. You need to actually take a look at this so that you can release that energy that is just being stagnated and just like, once that happens, your life purpose just activates. You start to feel happier, but also going outside every single day and blessing the spirit of the sun and allowing the sun to bless you with the blessings of a trillion suns, and having and allowing yourself to receive that. Most people, when you give them a compliment, just a compliment, you're not giving them anything, a compliment, they're like, well, me, not me. And then the crazies who are mentally unstable, you give them something and they don't even have the fucking graciousness to say thank you without going, well, it's not good enough. And they can't even give themselves that. So you can imagine how low the consciousness is on planet Earth when somebody is giving you a gift and they can't even say thank you, yet they could never in a billion lifetimes, well, no, let's say million lifetimes, be able to even think of giving themselves that kind of a gift because they're still very new souls or tapped into demonic hell realms. So you've got two scenarios here. Some souls are very new souls and they are still kind of trying to figure out this life thing on planet Earth. Some souls just tapped into the demonic agenda. And you will see by giving them a gift, they won't say thank you, even if the thank you is like, thank you. But like, it could have been better. I'm sorry, it could have been better. No gratitude. These people can't even get outside and say thank you to Grandfather Sun for just the photosynthesis, the energy of photosynthesis, so that I can eat my orange today. There are a lot of people who live in this consciousness. So when you meet them and you engage with them a lot, they are going to shock your consciousness. If you're a visionary, you're a chosen one, and you're here on a light work, when you meet people like this, you're going to be so shocked because you're going to be like, what the hell? People live like this and somebody loves them? And somebody actually wants to spend time with them with this level of ugliness and just self-loathing and hatred? Who would want to even spend time with somebody like this? Who would even want to be around somebody? People with even lower self-esteem and lower consciousness. When you understand this, you start to have extreme compassion for humanity because we're living in hell. Slave hell. People love to control other people. They like to enslave other people. We're living in slave hell. And if you're not living in slave hell and you're a visionary, you will start to understand that gratitude is it's your oxygen. Because when you start to understand how many realms of consciousness there are on planet Earth, and that some souls just choose to come into this planet to just be war zombies, or some souls just choose to come into planet Earth and become like shit stirrers and smear campaign people. Like the soul just chooses to come in so low and just become such a low nuisance on planet Earth. You're like, oh my God, I'm so thankful that I'm out of that stage of consciousness. But when you engage with this many souls too often, because 98% of the human population is still this. So count yourself blessed if you are a chosen one or a visionary. Count yourself blessed. Your ancestors have prayed for you to awaken. If you're a light worker, count yourself blessed. Your higher soul is, keep blessing you, keep moving, keep moving. Visionaries, chosen ones, keep moving, keep moving. The work is huge. The work is huge. Keep moving, keep moving. This is what the gods and the goddesses are saying every morning when they open up their eyes. Oh, what I have created is so good. Keep moving. Shine your light. Because there are so many souls that are in just mindless hell. But the problem is if you meet up with a lot of these souls, you can start feeling hopeless about the world. And even though you're still living a good life, you could start feeling hopeless, because sometimes when you meet these souls that are unable or unwilling to self actualize, and they've chosen to incarnate and into slave matrix, sometimes they want you to incarnate into to be there with them, so that we can have a misery party and drink our whiskeys and our wines and talk about our miseries. If you're a visionary chosen one light worker, you've got no time for this rubbish. Honestly, you've got no time for this rubbish. So let these people enjoy the fruit of their karma. You be the one that is the farmer, tilling the soil, planting the seeds of goodness, the seeds of love, the seeds of collaboration, cultural collaboration, where it doesn't matter, there's no borders, there's just love. And all those that are still stuck in this smear campaign consciousness, this lie campaign consciousness, borderline personality disorder consciousness, that just hate consciousness, that are being used by the dark agents and the demons. Just boundaries. The work is huge. So if you do find yourself depressed for no reason, find yourself anxious for no reason, you could either be having, symptoms, awakening. That means you're just having a serious spiritual awakening. Sometimes it could be clinical, chemical stuff. Sometimes you're just having such a big spiritual awakening. It's like time to look at the parts of you that are repressed, that are suppressed. Because as you act, just release that energy by just releasing the story, collapsing the egoic story. Not that your ego is bad, not that you want to kill or get rid of your ego. It's just collapsing an egoic story that no longer serves you. A story of you are shameful, you are a sinner, you're going to die and go to hell. No, why do you want to carry on the story so that you do die and go to hell? Hail to the no. The God said I can create heaven on earth. The goddesses said I can shine the intelligence of the universe as my voice, as my body, the beauty of the goddesses, the stars as my face. Why would I want to listen to any other fucking sad story that says I'm a sinner, I must be punished, I must be humiliated, I must give up all my wealth to the poor who do not want to self actualize and be murdered for this shit, for people who won't self actualize? That's some sad story that I'm not participating in. You better damn not participate in these stories too. Divinity saying it's time for love to reign supreme. Divinity saying goodness for all being, abundance for all beings, collaboration. Let's play together. Let's sing together. Let's plan together. Let's raise children together. Let's be happy. Let's help each other. This is what divinity is saying in my ear. So if divinity is saying to you, or your God is saying to you, no destruction, smear campaign, wars, theft consciousness, extortions, all sorts of these awful, ignorant things, fraud. You're being used by demons. They got you real, real. You know, um, in South Africa, we have one of like the highest ancestors. His name is Babu Credo Muta. I've read all his books for the past 10 years. I've just been, sometimes I can read one paragraph for 3 months because I'm just like, I'm not really sure what he's talking about. It's so hella advanced. But in South Africa, we call it Amachiko Huris. The Chikohuris have got some of these people. That's why they seem normal. They seem in kind of like the most optimal people for leadership positions. But when you see they actions, when you hear their words, you realize that it is reflecting what's truly going on within their soul. And it's such a mismatch from divinity. You start to realize that they're under a demonic influence called Amachika Huris. It's probably honestly, it's Chikahuris. And in every mythology, in every culture, in every spiritual religion or religious practice, they have their own name for the devil. It's just Chikahuris for us. For you, it might be the devil, it might be dark spirits, it might be this. But like the Africans, I think truly the self-hatred of Africans is Chikahuris. Because Africans hate each other so much and they hate themselves so much. When you engage with them, it's so difficult to not be depressed. Even Black Americans. But sometimes when you engage with the Europeans, you're like, oh my goodness, The Americans with their yelling and their narcissism and their low self-esteem. We are all this. We are all nasty. And I won't be nasty. I refuse to be around nasty because I won't tolerate it within myself because I am willing to do the work every single day. You damn better be willing to do the work every single day, or don't expect people to like you, or don't expect to be people to be around you. Even as a visionary, we've got to hold ourselves accountable. We've got to hold ourselves in check. If you're going to hold up boundaries with crazy, you're going to have to say to yourself, okay, I got to hold myself in check, because if I'm going to be around other visionaries, I can't have some nasty nasties come out. People have a right to kick you out of their lives if you are dysfunctional. In which day and age do we get to keep people who are abusive and crazy? No, therapy. Go there. Stay there. There. Therapy, and deal with your bullshit. And then once you've dealt with it, maybe, actually, no, I don't do reconciliation. It didn't work in South Africa. So, radical forgiveness. So, meta. And woman, you have a right. There's so many women who leave dysfunctional relationships and are pressured to go back into these dysfunctional relationships by their parents, by their families, by society. No, 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 no. Do not. I'm so grateful that like with the first relationship that didn't work out, my parents were there for me. My parents were there. They were like, okay, you can come back home. You can do whatever you want. But there's a lot of women who get married into these things, or they do, stay with a boyfriend, and then they are shamed by the churches that now they're a sinner and now they can't go back home. So they die in these relationships with these crazy men who abuse them. We must have these conversations. These conversations must be had. And these common things are not just happening in the Black community. They are happening in the Asian community. They're happening in the white people community. They're happening in the pink people community. All sorts of people community. That's why people are depressed. But mental illiteracy, mental health illiteracy is a war strategy, because the more crazy they can get you, the more erratic you are with your decisions, the more you just, the more you, when they give you a gun, you will go and make things, to make decisions you have no idea. And it will keep you in hell realm cycles for so many lifetimes. It's not worth it. Do not die in this stuff. For you, visionary. I'm only talking to the visionaries, the mindless souls who are always smear campaigning, lying, and all this stuff. They, whatever, who cares? Maybe a profound spiritual awakening will have shaken in them. Not my problem. God, move on. Day late, dollar short. Do the radical forgiveness for yourself. Heal thyself. It's not going to get any easier. There's going to be more crazy coming out. Protect yourself by healing everything so that you don't have these traces of energy where these souls can just latch onto your energy field and start leeching off you. People are awakening, and the awakening process is messy. It is chaotic. It is fearful. It is depressive. It is, people are, the awakening process is messy, and it's not going to get any easier. I am sounding the warning now, the siren. I am whoop 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 whoop. Human beings wake up. Human beings choose purpose-driven boundaries instead of being mired in other people's drama. It is expensive. It will destroy you. You will end up in therapy spending $380,000 because you were mired by the people's drama. Can you imagine what could you do with that kind of money? And these people's drama does not end. It just continues, and it just gets worse. Boundaries. Please have boundaries. Depression is dangerous. Depression has taken so many people's lives because people are afraid to talk about depression. People are afraid to talk about being abused by narcissists and borderlines. So they just go into a depression, and there is a soul, as the spark of divinity just fizzling out. We need to talk about these people with their borderlines and their narcissisms, and the smear campaign people. They must be held accountable. But you damn hold yourself accountable with radical forgiveness so you don't get yourself involved in these things and you participate in this. Because even the enablers, the ones who say nothing, you're a part of the karma too. The ones who don't stop this and who don't speak up, about the injustices and the atrocities that are happening in the world, but yet you know you are held apart, you are a part of that karma too. These truths must be spoken. Meta. May I be happy. May I be peaceful. May I be liberated from all ignorance. May I be liberated from all suffering. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be liberated from all ignorance. May all beings be liberated from all suffering. Togos, Togos, Togos. Satu, Satu, Satu. Be happy, be happy, be happy. You are the face of love. You are the face of beauty. You are the face of the gods and the goddesses of creativity, of abundance. Radiate that without apology. Just radiate love without apology. Whatever they say to you, whatever, how much they mock you, how much they laugh at you, just know that the presence of God as you is like, I believe in you. Everywhere my feet touch, the earth is blessed. Stay focused, focused on the bigger purpose. Don't get involved in drama. Drama is expensive. Okay? We love you a long time. See you on the next video. Oh, I'm sorry we didn't dance today, but we're gonna dance soon, okay?